Hey, TRX Traveller Adam here. In this video we're going to look at a couple of TRX exercises that give an awesome burn and an awesome pump that really target the middle and rear deltoid muscles. So as we build them, it really helps give a nice rounded look to the shoulders. Let's get to it. Alright, now this first exercise is a TRX Front Raise. As I do this, you'll notice that my range of motion is very, very small. And the reason I do that is because I want to keep the middle head of the shoulder muscle, the middle deltoid, I want to keep it under constant tension. So this is very similar to when you're in a gym and you use dumbbell raises and you go right up like that. However, because of the range of motion here, we're not going to go right down, because as we push right down with the TRX, we're going to lose tension on the muscle, and that's not what we want. We want to keep the muscle under tension when we're doing these. We want to be aiming for high rep ranges between sort of 12 and 20 ideally. So it looks like this. Get the TRX. I've just got it on the door here. We're not going to be pulling too hard, so don't worry about the door coming down on you. It's more you're using the TRX just as balance, and you're only putting a very slight bit of incline with your stance that creates the intensity. So grab the TRX. Now the idea, the motion, is to create an L shape, which means you push up like that and you let go back down. But as I said, we want to keep the muscle under tension. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to contract our shoulders back. We're going to raise up as high as we go to there, and we're going to lower to about there, and we're going to raise up, and we're going to lower, and we're going to raise up, and we're going to really squeeze our shoulders as we're doing this. Really squeeze them. And down. And already, just after a few, I can really start to feel a burn. So much so that my arms are actually starting to shake. Now I know this range of motion, I know it looks very small. I know it looks like a very small range of motion because we're literally just doing that. But we're constantly keeping the shoulder muscle under tension. And this middle muscle is such a small muscle. It's very difficult to stretch it and shorten it through ranges of motion. So if you keep it under tension, and you'll start to feel a burn around 12 to 15 reps. It really breaks it down, and it obviously encourages it to build better and bigger. So when you're doing these front raises, TRX front raises, let's just keep that range of motion. Again, you don't need a deep stance, you just need a little one. Keep that range of motion nice and short, just like that. Keep that muscle under constant tension, really squeezing the shoulders. And as I say, you want to be going for high rep ranges between 10, 12, up to 20, if you can. I'm already a bit out of breath from doing that. So, just small range of motion. Now, the second one you can do, if you really want to target the medial head, the middle part of the shoulder, even more, is if you pull the TRX right in and pull it down, you can do one arm side raises. And basically, that allows you, just make sure that's secure. It's the same principle. We just want to keep a short range of motion. So as I go down to about there, I'm not going to go right down because then I'm just leaning. I'm going to keep my elbow slightly bent and back up. And slightly bent and back up. And I'm just keeping a constant tension in the middle head of this muscle. Very small range of motion. Really focusing on squeezing the shoulder muscle as I'm doing these. And again, high rep ranges, really high rep ranges. And after a few, you can really feel a burn. And obviously you can switch it up. So you go from that side, short range of motion, and do the same. Again, we're not going all the way down and leaning because the tension is removed from the elbow and you're kind of just using it to hold on. We're constantly keeping that bit of tension, and I'm constantly squeezing my wrist and squeezing my whole arm, specifically focus on squeezing my elbow as I'm doing that. Just the same as the front raises, constantly focus on that mind to muscle connection. Focus on squeezing your arms as hard as you can. Kind of like when you do that, focus on squeezing them as hard as you can as you're doing those rep ranges, both the single and double. Now, the third exercise you can do is what I call the TRX T'S. Now normally, you would do them like this. So you'd split your hands like that. I'll just get a bit more length on the TRX. So normally you would have what's a neutral grip, hammer grip, and you would split like that, and again you'd keep tension, you'd come down, not all the way, keep tension, that's it, keep tension, and up. So that's quite a standard exercise, and it's great. Again, that will really target the middle head as well, but you can also really bring the back in a lot if you really squeeze the back as well. But to put even more emphasis just on the rear head of the deltoid, which is that one that makes your shoulder really pop when you see like bodybuilders on stage and they've got this really sort of 4D shaped shoulder muscle. That's because they have a really, really good developed rear deltoid. It's also fantastic for shoulder stability as well. It helps you stop getting injuries. It's a very important muscle to train. So, using these TRX T'S, what you can do is you can hold the handle, and instead of this grip, we're going to shift it to this grip. So, as I'm creating a T and I'm pulling like this, it's using the rear deltoid more to bring myself up, bring my body up. And even if you do it against the wall, if you just do your hand like this and push it against the wall, you can feel the back of your shoulder muscle really engage in there. So we take that principle and we take it into the TRX T'S. And it looks a little something like this. Again, just kind of start and you go down, keep the tension, and back up. And squeeze and pull it apart as hard as you can, and back down. And squeeze and pull it apart as hard as you can, and back down. And squeeze and pull it apart as hard as you can, and back down. So, with those three exercises, the front raises, which target the middle of your shoulder, the side raises, which again target the middle, and then those TRX T'S, but with a normal grip, not a hammer neutral grip, a normal grip, where you extend them like this, you can really, really create a massive pump. You know, you can do them separate, so you could do 10 to 15 reps of 3 sets and move on to the next one, or you could do a giant set, so you could really do like one arm, take it into a front raise, then take it into a T, and then repeat again, and that would create a huge burn, huge pump in your shoulder muscles. And what I also love to do to add on the end of these is just do a standing pike hold. So a pike press is where you're down like this, and you go down, and you press up. So that's a standard pike press. But I find them great to sort of build tension, because it is very hard to, to contract your bicep. It's really easy. You can really squeeze that and get a lot out of it. To contract your shoulder muscles, it's really hard to really get a good contraction, a good feeling. So what I find really helps a lot, especially to pump a lot of blood there, and to break them down just that little bit more once you've done the exercises, is to do a pike hold. So let's say we've just been training some TRX T'S with our normal grip. As soon as you're done, go straight into a pike hold like this, and just hold it. You could even call this a downward dog in yoga, I guess. Now the key is not to. It's easy to hold yourself there and use lots of muscles. But to get the most out of our shoulders, when you're holding down, try and push your hands together like this. And really, really squeeze your arms, okay? Don't just hold yourself in a position. Focus on really engaging the shoulder muscles and squeezing your arms together. So as I'm down like this, and I'm holding, I'm pushing my hands together on the floor. Really pushing as hard as I can. And even just after a few seconds, that really tires them out. And it's just that added bit of addition, that added bit of tension to the muscles. Helps with the mind-to-muscle connection, so you can feel what it's like to feel tension. And it also just helps flood lots of blood there. So, yeah, that pike hold is a great thing to do. Again, if you've got a lot of upper body strength, you could do a handstand. Same principle. If you handstand against this wall, which I won't do because I've got my trainers on and my mum will kill me. But if you can do a handstand and hold your body weight, same principle. As you're down, just push your hands together like this on the floor, and you'll really feel the shoulders engage and contract. So, yeah, just to wrap that up, 3 awesome exercises to create a really nice rounded shoulder. By the way, a lot of the times when you're doing press-ups or you're doing TRX press-ups, you're going to be engaging the front shoulder muscle a lot. It's very rare that you see people with underdeveloped front shoulder muscles who train a lot, because they're always using it. Even sometimes when you're doing a barbell curl, you'll see people sort of swing their arm in and engage it, and it comes into play a lot. However, you do see a lot of underdeveloped medial and rear deltoid muscles, and that's when you don't see the full rounded shoulder development. It's just the front. So don't worry too much about the front shoulder muscle, because you are going to train that a lot from TRX presses, even pike presses like that, even skull crushers, you're incorporating them. So there's lots of different ones that will actually incorporate without you fully realising. So it's good to then isolate the middle and rear deltoid. And those 3 exercises, the front raise, which looks like this. So the front raise, and then the side raise, which looks like that. And then you've got the rear, the TRX T, which is the rear delt raises, which looks like this. So if you combine all 3 of them together on your shoulder days, or however you can fit it into your plan, you're going to really develop the muscle well, and you'll feel the pump. It's awesome. It feels great. I hope this video was helpful. If like all of us in the world, you're in the house, TRX is a fantastic tool to use to keep fit. I've got several 8, 9, 10 different plans up at trxtraveler.com. There's discount on at the moment. If you're looking for a way to stay fit while you're in the house, there's so much you can do with a TRX, and my plans cover from a beginner level up to an advanced, up to a really big muscle building one, or the specific ones for building a booty or a core, or increasing functional fitness, strength and flexibility. So yeah, if you're interested in following a plan for 4 to 8 weeks, they're in two separate blocks, 4-week blocks. Every single plan has video demonstrations, glossary, nutrition tips, recommendations. I link to a lot of athletes and people who I think are at the top of the game with nutrition, bodybuilding, women bodybuilders, women athletes, yoga teachers. I link to them all because, let's be honest, fitness is a whole 360 fundamental too. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any comments or you'd like to see anything else how you can train with the TRX, just leave a comment below, and I'll quickly do it, and I'll put a video up, and hopefully it'll help you. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy at this time, and look after yourselves. Thanks for watching.